Upgrades.
Yo, what's up, you guys? I'm not gonna say where I'm at right now, but I wanted to go and give my reaction / thoughts on this DC slate announcement from James Gunn. I already kind of know because I, read the written that was on Twitter ahead of time, so I know some of the things that were slated and talked about. But I want to hear it from this man's mouth. I will preface it like this: do I think James Gunn is a great creator, great writer, and has a very interesting spirit about how he loves comic book and continuity of comic book? Yes. Do I think he can pull this off? Possibly. I think that this announcement is going to be very fascinating to hear. I'll say it like this: I am very sad that Henry Cavill will no longer be Superman. That's not a surprise. But I did read that he's not necessarily gone. So I don't know what they would use him else for, but it sounds like from where The Flash ends, this is going to be sparking a brand new universe, essentially. So here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have been pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love, that resets the entire DC universe.
There it is.
Move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So, Peter and I, along with the group,
2024,
writers, have started
it doesn't seem like
to
there's going to be anything coming out in
10-year
2024.
plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now this, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action.
Wait, what?
The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller.
I'm excited about that.
Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world. I can't wait for people to see it. Okay, next up is a big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it.
I like how they're using the All-Star Superman.
Superman will be ralled into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called
Lanterns?
Lanterns.
Yeah.
This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, Jon Stewart,
yes,
Hal Jordan.
Yes.
We have a few other lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU.
Sinestro.
Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous WildStorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU.
So this is going to be his version of Guardians, basically.
Superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes.
Yeah, the old WildStorm
is fascinating. Series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them.
So my thing about that is if they bring in Damian, they have to introduce
Next up,
Jason,
a TV series called Booster Gold.
Dick,
Booster Gold is one of
Tim,
really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating
TV
guy.
live
He's
action.
a loser from the future who uses.
Wait, I didn't see if The Brave and the Bold was
to come back to present
a show or a
become
movie.
superhero so that people will love him.
I have to look at
It's
that.
basically
Yeah.
the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now,
Interesting.
Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way. So she's a much more jaded character.
Yeah.
And that brings me to Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
About a very dark
First off, that
story in the
Swamp Thing
origins
series
of
was
the
freaking
monster
amazing.
Who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
Fascinating. I'm gonna have to go back through some of that because there's one part of this that I wasn't clear on, and it was The Brave and the Bold. Because I can't put my comments on it until I've confirmed it. I think The Brave and the Bold is gonna be a film. I'm actually trying to get.
Bold is the story of Batman.
Yep, it sure is. So it's gonna be a film. What? That actually might actually be dope. Because the thing about this with Brave and the Bold, the only way for that to work, and they're going and basing it off of Grant Morrison's, they're gonna have to bring up Dick Grayson, like actually show Dick Grayson. They're gonna have to show Tim Drake. They're gonna have to show the Bat Family. Like that's the only way this can actually work. But it also means they're gonna have to recast a Batman while simultaneously already having a Batman in Robert Pattinson. That's gonna be that's well. Let me do this real quick. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go back to the very beginning when he was talking about I think hold on.
By the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that,
There we go. That's where we
like
started talking about
Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, then it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the
Okay, so yeah, so they're gonna have to recast a brand new Batman, recast a brand new Superman. The platform springboard is gonna be the Flash, which they may introduce a brand new Batman there. How do I feel about this? I may need to get back with you guys on that. I'm gonna get back with you guys on that. All right, I'll be back.
Filing out the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50-mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind. Oh Lord.